What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing today is a recipe that I saw posted on a Facebook page called Motivational Fitness, Strength, and Nutrition. That Facebook page is hosted by a subscriber that actually supports a lot of cooking channels. I'm going to put a link to that Facebook page in the description. Run by there. If nothing else, they always have some excellent recipes. I'm always looking at those recipes, and I've knocked out a few of them. Anyway, for this Greek salad, not only did I look at the post that was on that page, I also looked up some other recipes. And one thing I found was that this is pretty close to the authentic version of Greek salad. One of the differences is that some of the authentic versions, they actually cook their vegetables a little more rustically. And personally, I would rather have something taste a little bit better than having big old chunks of tomatoes. I don't know, that's just me. So I'm going to get my knife skills kind of working a little bit better on this. Anyway, come on in, take a look at what my ingredients are, then we'll whip it up. So here's the ingredients that we're going to need, and I will have the recipe in the description. But I'm going to go over the ingredients for the dressing first, just so I can move them out of the way. We have some olive oil, some red wine vinegar, some lemon juice. Obviously you can use fresh lemons, but lemons were 50 cents a piece, and that's not rolling in this household. I have salt, pepper, and garlic. And then I'm using fresh oregano. You can use dried as well. Now, as far as our other ingredients go, we have our cucumber, and I've taken some of the skin off of it, and really all we're going to do is kind of cut this into, we're just going to slice it. Now, the authentic recipe, you're supposed to just cut it a little bit more rustically, but like I said, I would rather have uniform pieces in mine as opposed to just having big old chunks. So anyway, there we go. So there's that. Our onions, we're going to be slicing those thinly. So I'm just going to, this actually is a big onion, so I'm going to kind of cut it two down the middle. And then we are just going to come down like this. Now the recipe I have said use 2 onions. This is a pretty big onion. If I need more, I'll go ahead and add more. But I think this should cover us here. And if I have leftover, you know what? I'll be using that for a different recipe down the road. As far as the tomatoes go, what we're going to do is just kind of come right down the middle. And then we are going to slice it in half, and then we're just going to do the same thing on that. And our olives, I'm using Kalamata olives. So we're just like that. I'm just going to cut those in thirds. And I also have some feta cheese, which is in the refrigerator. It's pretty hot right now. I did not want that to melt, so we're going to get to that in a little bit. But here's our basic vegetable ingredients. Now we just need to get on to making this dressing. Start getting this dressing hooked up. So I already have my quarter cup of olive oil in here. I'm going to go ahead and add about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now this is going to be to taste, so feel free to change it up if you'd like, and I will be doing the same after I taste it. So we have that. We have our seasoning, our salt, pepper, garlic. All that's going to be in the description, but actually that's going to be to taste as well. We're going to add about a tablespoon, or excuse me, about 1.5 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. And as far as the oregano goes, the recipe called for 2 teaspoons of oregano. Usually if you're using fresh, you're going to want to add a little bit more. And then I added just a little bit more on top of that. And what we're going to do is we are just going to kind of coarsely chop this. doesn't need to be specific. And we are going to adjust this once we are done, just to make sure that our taste is kind of where we want it. Go ahead and add that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw it in this mason jar with the lid on top of it. And we're just simply going to shake that up. It looks like and I'm just going to kind of taste the rim of the jar just to see kind of how we're tasting it. Okay. I think we're going to need a little more salt. And like I said, all this is going to be to taste. So whatever you feel like you need to add is kind of what you need to add. That should be enough. So I'm going to pull all these other fresh ingredients out, and then we're going to throw this salad together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start throwing this in kind of a little bit at a time, just to make sure the balance is correct. And if I have some left over, then, which it looks like I will, then we will be eating this later on. So that's going to be good to go. Just going to toss this and see where we're at. You know what? I think we'll go with all these tomatoes and all these olives. Let's go with a little bit more onion. And again, this is going to be to taste, so don't feel like you need to have specific directions or anything in this. You know, I will go with a little bit more of that. So we have a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of onion left over. Now we're going to go ahead and hit it with our dressing. Mix that in. A little fell out. Let's go ahead and taste that. That tastes great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in the refrigerator for about a minimum of 30 minutes. A couple hours would be best if you have it. And then we're going to go ahead and throw our feta cheese on it. And then it's going to be time to taste it. Now this has had a chance to chill out in the refrigerator for about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and toss it up real quick. Now, you can buy the crumbled up feta cheese. The feta cheese that I saw at the store was crumbled up a little bit too much. So we're just going to kind of break this in here and try to keep them in, you know, not too large of chunks, but not super small either. Alright. The stuff I was looking at the store was damn near looking like Parmesan cheese. Alright, so we got that in. Throw a little bit more in. And then let's just go ahead and mix it in. So let's get down with this taste test. So, very healthy, very simple. Let's get in. I really like that, and you know what? after researching those more authentic recipes where they were basically, the authentic recipes, basically they were taking the onion and cutting it up by hand and throwing it in there. Same thing with the tomatoes. It seemed like it would be a little bit too chunky for me. I really do like that I kind of got this cut up a little bit better. It tastes great. I really like the red onions and the feta cheese. I mean, you could definitely get that in there. Kalamata olives. Anyway, if you're looking for something light to eat, bet this is Thyron at TNT Barbecue calling me. It is. Hold on. Thyron, let me finish up this video right quick. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.